Good evening, everyone. This is the Coaches and Coxswains meeting for the 50th Annual Women's Sprints, which is brought to you by the Intercollegiate Rowing Association and held on Lake Quinsigamond. The regatta is based out of Regatta Point, located at 10 North Lake Ave, Worcester, Mass. My name is Thad Gamula, and I am with the Quinsigamond Rowing Association, and I will be guiding you through these slides. I am joined tonight by Laura Kunkemuller, the Intercollegiate Rowing Association Commissioner, Linda Murray, the Regatta Director, Ruth McNamara, the Chief Referee, who will be discussing the refereeing points later on in this presentation, and several of the officials who will be there at this regatta. To welcome everyone and start off the presentation, I would like to introduce the Regatta Director, Linda Murray. Linda?
Thanks, Thad. Thanks everyone for being here tonight and for entering in the race. We're very excited to celebrate the 50th running of the women's sprints. And having covered all the roles myself, I know how important this race is to everyone who's competing and coaching at it. I'd really like to thank the commissioner, our IRA Regatta Series Commissioner, Laura Kunkemuller. With her hard work and generous donations, we're making this a really special event, from videos and VIP tent to having a spectacular day of racing. We also couldn't have done this without the help of the Quinsigamond Rowing Association, the LOC, and of course, I look forward to working with our fantastic chief referee, Ruth McNamara. I'm not going to get into compliance right now. I'd like to turn it over, Thad, if you could introduce Laura. I think that'd be fantastic. Thank you, everyone.
Perfect. Thank you, Linda. Now with a few comments, the IRA Commissioner, Laura Kunkemuller. Laura?
Hello, everybody. I want to highlight a few things. First, coaches, thank you for your patience today as we worked through some scheduling issues. And I want to tell those of you who haven't read your message in the group chat, which I understand went out, if you looked at the schedule this afternoon, that is not the right one. The correct schedule will go up no later than tomorrow morning. We're working on it. I just took a call from Harry, and he is working on it. So just so that you know, the changes we're grouping the lightweight events a little earlier in the schedule, and we also have to redraw some heats because of scratches. So please make sure that tomorrow afternoon you take a look at the schedule and you internalize the schedule from tomorrow afternoon rather than the one from this afternoon. Similarly, we are working through the points trophy calculation information to be able to give it to all of you, and we ask your patience while we're doing that. We assure you that you will have that in time to be able to calculate on the fly if you'd like to. Linda mentioned that it's the 50th running and that we have some interesting videos. There's a compilation of interviews from coaches and athletes who were around during the first several years of the regatta, and that will play on the Jumbotron during the lunch break. But coaches, we also invite you to come over to the VIP tent to watch that at portions during the day. We'll have that on a feed. So please come and see what that's all about. I think that was everything that I had. So thank you, everybody, for your participation. We're looking forward to a really great day of racing.
Thank you, Laura. Okay, we are sticking with the same system as last year for attendance taking. If you could please text your school code to 22333 at this time to log your attendance. So, for example, if you represent Boston College, you would text the code 47096 to the number 22333 in order to log your attendance. Schools are listed here alphabetically. And if for some reason you do not see your school name on this list, please email me at thadgamula@qra.org so I can log your attendance manually. And while we wait for attendance to come in, I would like to point out that we do have a question and answer feature on this platform. As many of you have noticed, camera, microphone, and chat have been turned off for all except for the presenters. We ask if you do have a question during the presentation, please enter it in the Q&A function, which can be found at the bottom right of your screen. Some have 9 dots as shown on the screen up here. Some have a triangle, square, and circle icon. All you do is click it. You can see the options that appear in the meeting tools. You would select Q&A and ask your question. You have options to ask it anonymously. Whatever you need, whatever you have to do, by all means, go ahead, ask a question, and we will try to answer all of them at the very least at the end of the presentation, if not during the presentation. And I'm going to give it another 30 seconds here. We have a couple schools that we haven't heard from. So I'm just going to give it a quick 30 seconds, and then we'll continue on. Sure, we got answers now, so we will move on now. Okay, so the practice day is Saturday, May 3rd, between 6:10 and 7:30 p.m. It's a generalized 6:10. Please be patient. This time could change due to safety concerns or weather delays for the regatta ahead of it. Please note that the gates to Regatta Point officially open for trailers at 7 o'clock p.m. after the New England Championship clears out, and will close and be locked at 8 p.m. Please do not arrive early. You will be asked to drive around until the gates do open. We will try to expedite the process of getting the previous trailers out as quick as possible. We also ask you not to leave and stage on North Road next to the hospital. They have specifically asked us this year not to interfere with traffic on their property by having trailers parked and staged along North Road, which is the road that you use to enter the Regatta Point parking area. So for the traffic pattern on the practice day, on the lake, for those of you who haven't been here before, we have 7 fully buoyed lanes, numbered 0 to 6. Lane 0 is closest to the Worcester shore, where Regatta Point is. Lane 6 is closest to the Shrewsbury shore, which is where the Donahue Rowing Center is, where all of you will be launching for that prior practice day. You're going to get sick of me hearing me say it. I will repeat it multiple times throughout the presentation. It's lanes 0 through 6. So 7 fully buoyed lanes, just 0 through 6. So everybody's going to launch out of the Donahue Rowing Center and travel south along the Shrewsbury shore. You're going to get all the way down past the finish line. Then you can turn and continue back up north. We ask that when traveling north, you have the ability to row outside of the lane. You can row in lane 0, or you can row in lane 1. Lane 2 is a dead lane. There should be no boat travel in lane 2. There will be several large wakeless marshalling launches in that lane. Please do not at any point enter or cross lane 2. To put it in the grand scheme of things in our course, lane 2 is the 3rd fully buoyed lane. So 0, 1, 2. You really can't miss it. Like I said, there will be large marshalling launches in it. Just do not cross it. Do not enter it. So as you travel north up the Worcester side on the practice day, either outside the course, lane 0 or lane 1, please note the shallow area marked at the top left-hand corner of the map. This is the pump house. It is directly across from Donahue Rowing Center. If you get too close on practice day or on race day, you risk losing your skeg or damaging your boat. It's never a good idea to hug the shore anywhere past the 1,000-meter mark traveling north on the lake. Please avoid it. After the pump house will be the 290 bridge. This bridge is where the starting line is. Please enter the cove on the opposite side of the bridge by rowing through the small span on the Worcester shore. You can then make your turn and practice south in lanes 3 through 6. Please note, lanes 3 and 4 are for pieces less than 1,000 meters, and 5 and 6 are for pieces greater than 1,000 meters. Once again, at no point should you enter lane 2. Remember, we have lane 0, so lane 2 is the 3rd fully buoyed lane. You will land then at Regatta Point. Most of you will land at Regatta Point, I should put, at the end of the practice day. Please just be aware of the docking situation there. If you land at Donahue, please make sure you go all the way up to the start and come down along the Shrewsbury shore. and then land at Donahue. Lastly, if I could direct your attention to the lower left hand of the screen, is the Route 9 bridge. Please at no point go through it. Do not cross under it. Stay out of there. We have the area reserved north of the Route 9 bridge of the lake. South of the Route 9 bridge is off limits. Okay, race day traffic. The traffic pattern is very similar. Basically, if you are launching from Regatta Point, you proceed north outside the buoy line along the Worcester shore. The difference is obviously on the race day, you're not going to be going up lane 0 or lane 1. We do have several 7-boat races, so please keep clear of the buoy lines. We do not want to interfere with any races. Same thing, avoid the pump house shallows. If you are launching from DRC, you have 2 options. You go directly across, make sure no races are coming, and avoid the pump house, or proceed south along the Shrewsbury shore outside the buoy line. The main difference between race day and practice day, for those of you coming out of DRC, is that you may not go further than the 1,500 meter mark. Turn and make your way across when no boats are coming, and then join the rest of the traffic headed north. After the pump house, all crews will all together enter the warm-up area. This is a closer view of our start and warm-up area. Same as practice day. You can see all the way to the left, you enter through the small span between the piers on the Worcester shore. Please, absolutely no pressure pieces going through the bridge. Once you enter the start cove, you will see 3 large white buoys in the center. The traffic pattern is clockwise around these buoys. Please keep your head on a swivel up here. It can get tight. There will be marshals up here during race day. Just self-aware. Be aware of your surroundings. Please also note that the red polygon on the right to your screen that says do not enter, that is the back of the cove. It gets shallow. We don't want to lose you back there. So please stay out of the back of the cove so you can stay within earshot of the officials. The marshals will gather you before your race is called and have you line up in numeric order. When your race is called, you will be directed to go into the course between the Shrewsbury shore and the eastmost pier of the bridge. At no point do you go between the stake boats. There's plenty of ropes here. We are never entering the course between the stake boats. After you get past the pier, you will turn, enter your lane, and then you'll row across, to your lane, turn again in your lane, and then you can practice your starts and do whatever's needed. The officials will keep you aware of how much time is before the race. One additional thing that I need to put, when you enter the course between the Shrewsbury shore and the pier, we do have a derelict motorboat that's directly against the Shrewsbury shore. It's not in the way of the traffic pattern. You can keep doing everything we do. Go single file through that area to enter the course, but please, if you bunch up and get multiple of you next to each other going through that area, it will interfere with the traffic pattern. So please make note and stay single file when you go through that area. This is another view of the 290 bridge from the starting cove. So basically you're sitting in the middle of the 3 white buoys in the starting cove looking south down the race course. Off to your right, far right shore is Worcester. That first small span between the piers is that area where you enter the practice area and go clockwise around the buoys. Then you have that large racing span where the stake boats will be on race day. There will be a starter's tower there too. And then off to the left between that last pier on the left and the shore is the entrance to the start. That's how you're going to enter the race course. You're going to go through that span, turn, go across into your lane, and then you either back down to the stake boat or you do your starts, whatever's needed. And at this point in time, I would like to introduce the chief referee, Ruth McNamara, for the refereeing points. Ruth?
Thank you, Thad. I appreciate that. I'm going to be joined this weekend with an experienced and dedicated group of referees that are from across the country, and we are excited to be here for your championship. And our purpose and role at this championship is for the athlete experience and to be the best it can be for you, which means it includes your safety and fairness. I want to take the opportunity to emphasize just a few important points so that we're all on the same page. I'm sure you know the rules by now, and I'm sure you've read the regatta packet. but I want to cover just a few things. So Coxswain weigh-ins, they're scheduled right now from 3 to 6 this Saturday at DRC. And for those of you who cannot make it during that time frame on Saturday, you have to make arrangements ahead of time with Linda Murray to be able to weigh in first thing on Sunday morning at headquarters. So you all need to contact her between now and Friday so that we know if you're going to be there Saturday. So if you would arrive at weigh-ins already wearing your racing uniform, whether it's a uni suit and socks or your team issued racing shirt and shorts and socks, but we'd rather you not dress or change in the weigh-in area. Also, you're not allowed to eat or drink while waiting in line to weigh in. And new this year, Coxswains, your minimum weight is 121. So if you know you need more than 10 pounds, we would appreciate you bringing a plate or anything else to that we can then add the sand to make up the difference if it's more than 10 pounds. If you need to carry weight, it's your responsibility during the race to have it in the boat and as close to your torso as possible. The referee is likely to ask you to show your dead weight at the finish line, so be prepared to be able to pick it up and show them. First aid. If anyone in your boat uses an inhaler, any of the athletes, please have them have it at their seat and not with you in the coxswain seat. And first aid will be located on the water, at DRC, at Regatta Point. And if at any time you need help or first aid on the water, please get the attention of the closest referee or safety launch to assist you. Launching and Control Commission. Let's always keep the access to the docks clear. Be race ready when you're going through Control Commission. The referees will not be doing a thorough safety check. It's been your responsibility to ensure that your boat meets all the safety requirements, whether it includes the bow ball, heel ties, the coxswain opening for a bow loaded floor. And please be sure you have the correct bow number for identification purposes. Be quick on the dock so others may get on the water too. And then we'll move on. That's already covered the traffic pattern, so I don't need to reiterate that. I will ask you to, if you suffer breakage anytime from the time you've launched to before the start, please get the attention of a referee or any launch that's out there, and they will assist you in getting repairs. The last thing we want you to do is try to turn around and go back to the launch docks. We'll try to get it repaired on the water. Worst case scenario, we'll take you into DRC to have it done. Let's see. In the warm-up area, please stay within the designated warm-up space and be very careful out there. It is a clockwise pattern. Everybody's going to be trying to get in. There's practice starts and things like that, but just have your head on a swivel. For the start, as Thad has told you, it's numbered backwards. The lanes are from lane 0 is on the right side when looking down the course. The crews will be called into the start when the previous race clears 100 meters, but we'd like you to start staging yourself along the start there on the shore when the 2-minute call is made for the previous race, so that as soon as that race goes and they clear 100 meters, you're going to be invited onto the course. The starter, once they invite you onto the course, they'll tell you how much time is left, say 7 minutes if we're on 10-minute centers, and the next call you'll hear is 5, 4, 3, 2 minute calls. If a crew is not there in lane order number, go ahead and go in. You don't have to wait for them. If they're late to the start, you don't want to be late. Be locked on and ready to race at the 2-minute call. If there's wind and you need to keep getting your point, we ask you to scull your boat around and not try to row it around. And again, if you need help, there'll be people up there on the start tower that are likely could help you if necessary. We plan to use an announced start, which is what you're familiar with, where we announce each crew's name, say the word attention, and raise the starter's flag, all in a cadence. Then once the flag is overhead, there's a variable pause until the flag is dropped and simultaneously saying go. So again, if we have weather conditions, which we might, we may need to go to a quick start, and the starter should notify you at the 2-minute call that they will be using a quick start. And the commands for a quick start are all crews, quick start, attention, they raise the flag, overhead is a variable pause, and then a drop and simultaneously saying go. For your championship, if crews suffering breakage in the first 100 meters should stop, and if you suffer breakage in the first 100 meters, you should stop, and you should raise your hand and get the attention of the starter or the following referee. Don't just stop and expect us to stop the race. If they can't see why you stopped, they may not stop the race. So you need to flag with your arms telling that you want them to stop the race. And in your championship, we will stop the race in the first 100 meters if there's a false start, if there's a collision or interference, if a crew stops in the first 100 meters and signals to the referee, if a competitor is ejected, or if you suffer an overhead crab. So if your race is stopped in the first 100 meters, we just ask you to listen carefully to get any instructions from the starter. So all's good at the start and your race is taken off and you've cleared the 100-meter mark. The referee will be coming in at about 100 meters right there at the far arch of the bridge, coming in from your starboard side. But if anything happens in the first 100 meters, the starter will be the one giving you instructions with voice and flag. A media launch will be entering from the high side, which is on your port side at about 200, 250 meters, and they'll be following from that point on. The following ref will do their best to not wake a trailing crew, but there are times when it's necessary for the referee to move forward, to move up with leading crews that might need to be protected, who are in contention of advancing, placing, or winning. So if that were to happen to your crew, I want to apologize now, and hopefully the referee on the water does the same thing if it happens. At the finish, if for any reason you feel your opportunity to advance, place, or win was compromised, get the attention of the following referee. Let them know. Explain what your objection is, what happened, where it happened, and what remedy that you seek to restore fairness to your race. The referee will render a decision. If you don't agree with the decision or a crew that was impacted by the decision doesn't agree, let the referee know that you want to take the issue to shore, and Linda or myself will do our best to meet you at the recovery dock. And if by chance one of us doesn't get there by the time you land, come find us at headquarters. One or both of us will be at headquarters, but and we will work with you to come up with a resolution. So if you have any questions, whether it's now or you think about it and you have questions on Sunday, don't hesitate to ask any of us that you can see pictures of here. But at the same time, any referee at Control Commission or on the water should be able to help you. And I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you, Ruth. There were some questions that came in. I don't know if we want to address them now or at the end of the. Do you want to go now or wait? We'll wait. We'll let a couple more come in, and then we'll address them at the end of the presentation. Thank you, Ruth.
Welcome.
Okay, so after the race has been made official, you will spin to your starboard side and proceed quickly out of the finish line area. You will land at the same dock you launched on. You can see all the various squiggly lines here. Listen to the dock masters for instructions. If you happen to medal in your grand final event, you will be directed to the awards dock. It's shown by the purple squiggly line on your map. You will be called in reverse order, so bronze, silver, gold, and please be aware of that yellow area that's on this map here. That is the shallows around the finish tower. The last thing you want to do after you win gold is rip your skeg off going to the awards dock. And then once again, to hammer the point home, at no point should you continue south past the Route 9 bridge. You can see where the Route 9 bridge here is on this map compared to the finish line. You do not keep going south past that. Okay, in the event of an emergency, we have many different safety officials on the water between the rowing officials, police, fire, EMS, and environmental police. To echo what Ruth has already said, if at any point you or anyone in your boat is having a medical issue, please stop and get the attention of the closest safety launch. Flail your arms, do whatever you have to do, get their attention. If there is a weather emergency, we're talking about mainly thunderstorms here, the same mentioned safety officials will make an announcement. If there is an event where we have to evacuate the lake, any crews south of the 1,000-meter mark will return to Regatta Point, and anyone north of the 1,000-meter mark will row and land at Donahue Rowing Center. So once again, if at any point we have to evacuate the lake, any crews south of the 1,000-meter mark will go to Regatta Point. Any crews north of the 1,000-meter mark will go to the Donahue Rowing Center. And so just to wrap up, please, no public urination. Porta potties are provided throughout Regatta Point. Anything brought on the water by a crew must come off with the crew. No handing anything to the stake boat holders. They have been instructed to not take anything, so please, anything you take out there, bring back with you. And that pretty much wraps up the bulk of the presentation. We'll give it another minute or so to submit. Anybody has any questions, please submit by the question and answer feature. So everybody knows there is a recording, there will be a recording of this meeting at the Quinsigamond Rowing Association YouTube channel. The link will be distributed to the coaches. And also on that YouTube channel, there is an overview for those of you who haven't been to Lake Quinsigamond before of the course itself. It shows the buoys, it shows where everything is in relation to the start line, the finish line. There's timestamps for 500, 1,000, 1,500 meter mark. If you get a chance, go take a look. It's worth it. So at this point, I see several questions. If you want me to read them out, and you can answer as needed. So the first question is, while the person understands the schedule will be shared tomorrow, is it possible to receive confirmation on how many finals there will be for each event? And if they have a 7-boat heat, will that be the case for finals? If so, what are lane progressions from heats?
So I assume that that is mostly around the fact that we have 20 boats in the V8, 2V8, and the V4. So the way that will work is we'll have 3 heats, 7, 7, and 6. And the first 2 from each of those will go to the grand final. The next 2 will go to the petite final. And the next 2 will go to the 3rd level final. The 7th place boats in the 2 heats with 7 boats will go to the 4th level final. And what just to pull that further throughout the whole schedule, we have not put together any progressions that involve a time. It's all by placement.
Okay, thank you. Next question, is there an option for a cool down loop after racing? I can handle that. No, there is not. Sorry. Just to confirm, if we need weight, but we'll need less than 10 pounds, we don't need to bring our own weight.
Correct.
Thank you.
Just helpful if it's over, you do bring it. And if you can't pick it up, the referee will come over and look into the boat.
Perfect. Thank you. That answers the last one too. And that is all of our questions. I don't know if anybody else had any other comments they wanted to make. Linda?
Now I'd like to talk about waivers very briefly. Without waivers, you can't practice. Without waivers, you can't race. It's not a good situation. Bucknell, Colgate, Holy Cross, Drexel, GW, Michigan State, Gordon, Stanford, Temple, UConn, URI, and Wisconsin are all completely in compliance. Brown, Dartmouth, and Georgetown are missing 1 person. Not so bad, but Boston College, Boston University, Columbia, Marist, Northeastern, Princeton, Radcliffe, Temple, and UMass. If you guys are having problems getting your compliance done, either you or your coach send me a note. Everyone knows how to reach me, and I'll help you. Our goal is to make sure everybody gets to race, but we have to make sure everything's safe and fair. Thank you, Thad.
Thank you, Linda. And I also forgot to mention, bow numbers are available for everybody at the North Dock at Regatta Point. There is nobody, to my understanding, launching out of DRC. So everybody will be out of Regatta Point. Your bow numbers are there. go pick them up, and please return them at the completion. And there are no more questions. So at this point, I say thank you for attending. And we will see all of you Saturday evening, or some of you just Sunday. But thank you, everybody. And just a reminder, this will be posted. So take a look. Thank you.
Thank you.